Remember the DeLorean from Back to the Future? Cool to look at, but a nightmare to keep running. That's the trap most new van lifers fall into. But the 5 vans we're about to explore, they're more like the Millennium Falcon. Not flashy, but they'll get you across the galaxy every time. And one of them in particular has a reputation that puts the rest to shame. Toyota Sienna. The Toyota Sienna really surprised me. It's not a typical RV van, but it's a beast on the road and easy on fuel. New Siennas are all hybrid all-wheel drive, so they sip gas like a Prius. In Car and Driver's 40K mile test, it averaged about 29 to 32 mpg, roughly 25 to 40% better mileage than a similar Honda Odyssey. That means way fewer gas stops on your road trip. Inside, it seats 7 people and still somehow fits 9 suitcases of gear and tests. All those seats fold or slide flat so you can easily build a bed or dinette behind the front seats. And sliding doors on both sides, even a hands-free kick opening door, make loading up camp gear a breeze. Maintenance is just as gentle. Toyota gives you free service for 25,000 miles. Toyota Care covers the first 5K mile services. After that, the long-term tester only spent about $500 on the next 15,000 miles of routine upkeep. In other words, plan maybe a few $100 a year on oil changes, which is pretty minimal. And remember, this is a Toyota, so the reliability is stellar. People often say Siennas can smash that like button if you haven't done so already. But no, in all seriousness, people often say Siennas drive like a car, with a quiet, cushy ride, not a clunky old van. The powertrain, a 2.5-liter engine plus 245 total horsepower from electric motors, isn't a speed demon, but it never felt underpowered hauling my buddies and gear. The Sienna is like a Prius that can double as a mini camper. It's got great gas mileage, tons of cargo space, and a supremely reliable Toyota drivetrain. Parts and service that are easy to find everywhere. For a first-time van lifer, this means a worry-free travels. You spend more time enjoying the trip, not fixing the van. Chevy Express! The Chevy Express and its GMC Savannah twin is an old-school American van that's all muscle, no frills. These vans were sold by the millions to fleets, so by now the market is flooded with cheap used ones. Parked in Paradise notes you can score an Express for just a few $1,000s on the used market. It's basically a big pickup truck cabin on a box body, so the interior height is low, but you can't stand up in a stock one. However, the floor is very low to the ground. The upside of this van is its sheer simplicity. It runs Chevy's proven V6 or V8 truck engines, so any mechanic can fix it. KBB owners call the Express reliable and cheap to repair. Parts are as common as dirt. Think oil filters, alternators, brakes from pickup trucks. Fuel economy is not great, maybe 12 to 18 mpg depending on engine and load. But hey, for a truck-based van, that's expected. For campers, you get a cavernous cargo hold. People often line these with wood themselves and push in plywood walls to make it livable. You give up standing room, but you gain a ton of storage. It's also stealthy. Looks just like a delivery or service van, not a motorhome. In short, an Express is about as inexpensive and durable as you can get. Enormous space and an engine that won't quit. It's the embodiment of get it cheap and keep it running forever. Ram ProMaster? That boxy work van you see on the highway is a Ram ProMaster? And the thing I love most about it is how wide and tall it is. The long high roof version has about 75.6 inches of floor width, so you can actually fit a full-size bed sideways across the cabin. Build-wise, the walls are almost vertical, which makes it easy to line with plywood and cabinets. Front-wheel drive means there's no drive shaft tunnel, so every inch counts. It also gives the ProMaster a surprisingly tight turning radius. That's why it handles more like a big minivan than a lumbering truck. Under the hood is a 276 HP V6 with a 9-speed auto, the Pentastar V6 borrowed from Dodge, which is plenty to cruise at highway speeds. The trade-off is ground clearance, no 4x4 option, so skip it if you plan to plow dirt roads. But on pavement, it's comfortable and roomy. A brand new high-roof ProMaster cargo van starts around $37,000, though you can often find older ones much cheaper. Now, the important question is upkeep. CarEdge estimates about $6,600 in maintenance over the first 5 years, around $1,300 per year on average. That's a bit above the absolute cheapest vans, but still reasonable for a work van of this size. In real life, owners say basic maintenance, oil filter, brakes, is straightforward and parts are fairly common. Given how much space and headroom you get, plus easier city driving, thanks to the short nose, the ProMaster gives a huge living area for the money. Van lifers often report mounting a bed crossways and still having room for cabinets. Ford Transit Connect. But before we continue, Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you like the video so far. The Ford Transit Connect is the little ninja of cargo vans. It's basically a Ford Focus hatchback that hit the gym, stretched out, and decided to haul furniture for a living. That's why it feels more like driving a tall car than a clunky van. Steering is sharp, the ride is smooth, and you can zip this thing into any downtown parking spot without breaking a sweat. It's small, but it's mighty. According to Parked in Paradise, the Transit Connect is known for its great fuel economy and easy-to-find parts, which makes it a favorite for budget-conscious van lifers. Now, don't expect a dance floor inside. Even the high-roof models only give you around 60 inches of headroom, which means no standing tall unless you're a kid or you add a pop-top. But listen to the payoff. 25 to 30 mpg is common, which crushes the thirsty full-size vans. And since most Connects came with trusty 2-liter or 1.6-liter 4-cylinders paired with front-wheel drive, maintenance is cheap and straightforward. These vans were super popular with delivery fleets, so parts are everywhere. Dealers, junkyards, you name it. That keeps repair costs way lower than Sprinters or ProMasters. For a 1- or 2-person setup, this van is perfect. Slide a platform bed in the back, add some storage underneath, and you've got yourself a nimble little camper that can sneak into city spots or tight trailheads without turning heads. It doesn't scream RV, which makes it the ultimate stealth camper. For city driving, fuel savings, and easy upkeep, the Transit Connect is golden. Chevrolet Astro. The Chevy Astro is a cult classic. Even though it looks ancient, it's bulletproof. It came with GM's 4.3-liter V6, about 190 horsepower, and heavy-duty truck underpinnings. That means parts and mechanics are everywhere. It's basically the same engine transmission as old Suburbans and S10s. Owners praise the Astro's reliability because it gets a high owner score. Even decades-old Astros are often reported to run like new. Inside, it's simple, no fancy electronics, so almost any flatbed mechanic can diagnose a problem with a wrench and a light. KBB even notes owners calling it reliable with no rust and saying it runs well. It's not the tallest van, but the standard version had a higher roof than many. People often add a small pop-top. The cargo area is generous, with around 170 cubic feet, so you can slide a bed inside lengthwise. Fuel economy isn't great, expect mid-teen city, low 20s highway, but the big upside is price. Kelley Blue Book lists a 2005 Astro at around $5,000 used. For that money, you get a workhorse that will probably outlive you. In practice, Astrovans haul gear for years without drama. And if something does break, you can replace an engine or trans for a couple of grand versus trading in. Some van lifers joke they'd rather replace a 2K Astro transmission than buy a new van. And because parts, brakes, suspension, etc. come from pickups, repairs stay cheap. The bottom line, the Astro is a no-frills, everyday van that's easy to own. Low purchase price for rock-solid reliability means it's a great starter camper for a tight budget. Thanks for watching. Here's another video camping enthusiasts loved watching.